Well, after doing the fasting, I realized that it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Mostly because I didn't think that I used social media that much, but not social media, I mean new media in general that much. And I wouldn't necessarily change that opinion. I still don't think I use it, as much as most people. But I feel like it's a lot more important, whatever amount that I do use, to my daily routine than I expected. I know I tried to cut out Facebook completely, and I didn't think it was going to be a big deal because I really did not spend too much time on there. And while I realized that I didn't do anything on Facebook, it was almost like a natural reaction for me, like, just randomly a couple times throughout the day to just go onto Facebook just because. And even though I didn't do anything, I just kind of felt like that urge. And a couple times I actually did because I, forgot I was dieting from the new media, and I was like, oh wait, I'm not supposed to. And so I didn't think that would happen. In terms of checking my time, it was really hard to not just pull out my phone every single time when I wanted to see what time it was. I said time a lot during that sentence. But just to fulfill that need, I used a clock. And during class, I actually focused a little bit more because I knew that I couldn't check the time, and so I might as well just listen to whatever they're saying or, stick my head into the book and read. So that really worked out. Cutting out Justice League, that was one of the more difficult things I had to do. At first I cheated and I decided to watch Young Justice. I'm like, haha, got you. But then I realized, the only person I was cheating was myself by doing that assignment. And so I decided to cut out Young Justice also when I was eating. And I wanted to kind of look at a real news source like New York Times, something like that, and just read an article while I ate. But I realized it wasn't fun, so I just ate really quickly. I noticed that my meals didn't take that long when I wasn't wasting my time. And it's actually kind of surprising because, I used to think that, oh, maybe I'm just a slow eater, and it took me like an hour to eat. But in reality, I can finish food fairly quickly without, having to spend time. And so having an extra like 30 plus minutes during mealtime, I mean, it was kind of nice. Another thing was that I already tried to cut out texting, but I really didn't do that too often. I didn't feel the need to text at all, since I don't. Pokemon was the other big thing which I wanted to get to. That one was really hard in the beginning because it's been a big part of my college life now, but I can honestly say that by Saturday, which was the third day which I was doing my fasting, it wasn't hard. And since then, since I finished the fasting, it really wasn't too hard for me to not play Pokemon. And I think it's mostly because I went so long, like such a long period of time. I think before this I was in middle school last time I played Pokemon. I did not play Pokemon any year in high school. And so to have that giant break meant that I could go on without it. I might play it, once over the last week as opposed to every single day before. And I think it's really good that I'm not wasting my time with Pokemon. And even though I absolutely love it and it's a great part of my childhood, I realize I probably have to grow up. And so it's a good thing to cut out. ESPN was the other thing which I really wanted to kind of limit, but I realized that I knew it was going to be super hard going into it, and the worst part is I was right. I spent as minimal time on my fantasy team as possible. For Thursday night, I checked to see, if I had any guys who were actually going to be starting, and, that was it. Then I did not check it on Friday. I did not check it on Saturday. I checked at as soon as I was done dieting, I checked it on Sunday, my fantasy teams, just, obviously because I have to set my rosters on Sunday. But with the exception of that, it was all good. On Thursday, that was when I set all my rosters, like my preliminary settings. And then on Sunday, after checking the injury reports, that was about it. But other than that, I really avoided the fantasy teams in general. I just spent the minimum amount of time, to literally get the rosters set. That was it. In terms of reading articles and, kind of creating my own, I I just don't think I'm ever going to be able to stop doing that. I've done it, I mean, in terms of actually like writing articles, I haven't been doing it for so long, but in terms of creating the ideas and making the arguments, like I always talk to myself about what I would say about this kind of thing. And so it's been something which I'm not going to give up anytime soon. Other than that, I would say the experience was a little bit harder than I was guessing, mostly because I did notice that I also checked my email more than I thought I did when I was just tracking. But apparently, that is kind of like Facebook, where it's just a reaction where I do it, and though I don't spend too much time on it, it's still something which, it's fairly frequent in my life. Other than that, I learned that I really have to kind of utilize the new media properly, because I definitely, even when I was kind of doing my modified version of fasting, where I wanted to allocate my time properly, I don't think I used the news sources and news wires. I didn't focus on important things as much as I should have. And while I had more time for homework and doing schoolwork and studying, I didn't do it as often. I more just like complained that I couldn't use the new media. And I definitely realized that I have to make like a conscientious effort for my lifestyle change, because if I don't, things will be kind of hard. All right, thanks.